if you want to offend devout Muslims, draw photos of Muhammad or pictures of Muhammad. If you want to offend Christians in America, have a themed Met Gala that centers around Catholicism. Now, Bree Payton, who writes for The Federalist, had a little bit of a tizzy about the Met Gala because it was religiously themed. In fact, the theme was heavenly bodies, fashion, and the Catholic imagination, right? So look, I'm not upset about what she wrote. I'm amused by it, especially the format in which she wrote this piece, because she lists all the offenders and then she explains why what they're wearing is offensive. So I'm gonna give you a few examples. First, there's Rhianna. She writes, Rhianna, who is co-hosting the affair, dressed as a sexy version of the Pope. So let's look at a picture of the sexy version of the Pope.
Well, indeed, that is sexier than the current Pope.
Right,
he's a good Pope, but he's not quite that sexy.
Yeah. Now, here's what Payton writes about why this is offensive. She says, as the head of the Catholic Church, the Pope retains authority over the church. Catholics believe this authority has been handed down to him from St. Peter, who Catholics say was ordained as the first head of the church by Jesus Christ himself. Turning the Pope into a sexy look for a night out says that the position Jesus created to lead the church is just a club dress.
Yes, that is what it says. Anyway, I don't know. Look, I'm not religious, so I was offended by the Met for other reasons, which we'll get into in a sec. But yeah, I get it. You don't have to give us the Catholic history. We all know, right? And the Pope is the head of the Catholic Church. Oh, really? And so basically, she does not like them using art to depict Catholics in a different light. Well, I mean, they've been using art in religion and art for centuries upon centuries upon. Have you ever gone to a museum, right?
No, but Cenk, that art has minimized religion to paintings. Now, when I think of Catholicism, I think paintings. That's all I think. I mean,
you know what I want to know is like super religious people, which I was raised by super religious people. Why are you keeping up with the Met Gala? Like, why are you like researching what Rhianna wore? It wouldn't even be in my radar when I was so, because I wasn't allowed to be like this. But what I thought was funny was that I love to hear people be so outraged when you disrespect the Catholic Church. I want to read an article that she wrote about trying to get some of those priests who molested children behind bars, and I want to see the type of that type of outrage behind that.
Well, let's hear a little bit more about St. Peter. And anyways, okay, so then she moves on to Lana Del Rey, another example. Lana Del Rey dressed as Our Lady of Sorrows, a depiction of Mary in which she has daggers in her heart, each representing a difficulty Mary experienced as the mother of Jesus. There's Lana Del Rey, daggers in heart and all. And here's what she had to say, Payton had to say about why this is offensive. Her role as the bearer of Christ makes it possible that men and women might be saved by her son's blood. The pain she endured throughout her son's birth, life, and death are part of what makes salvation possible. These sufferings are not a costume.
There's actual artwork of this.
Yeah.
But the problem is that somebody in your contemporary period is wearing an outfit like that or is just keeping a tradition alive. I think they want things ossified into a very narrow and literal understanding of a time frame.
No, but this is what it's really about. Like, let's keep it 100. Like, there's a lot of disdain toward, or a lot of disdain for people in Hollywood because they identify as liberal.
Right.
They have this themed Met Gala. I don't think that they did this with the intention of insulting anyone. And this is a form of art. Regardless of what you feel or think about fashion, this is a form of art. This is a form of expression. I don't think anyone had the intention of criticizing religion or making a mockery out of it. And look, the point that I want to quickly make is, I think it's ridiculous that devout Muslims get as offended as they do when there are depictions of the Prophet Muhammad, right? Now, of course, there have been cases of some taking things too far when they've gotten offended, but you can't criticize, the cultural issues there when you yourself get offended by something like this, right? And by the way, when I'm incredibly secure about something, someone's criticism, even if someone outright criticizes that part of me, it doesn't get under my skin because I'm confident in it, right?
That's right.
And so, for instance, when people say things like, you're dumb. Okay, all right, you think I'm dumb. I know I'm not dumb, right? So I'm not gonna get offended by those kinds of comments. But when it comes to religion, for some reason, people don't seem to be very secure in their own faith.
No, I know why, and you know, of course, that's exactly what you're pointing to, which is that they don't actually believe it. Yeah. So, for example, I'm agnostic. I don't believe in any of the religions. So if you wore an outfit that disagreed with me, I would laugh and laugh. Say, I don't care what you're wearing. What would that have anything to do with my beliefs? My beliefs are based on logic and reason. They're totally detached from the fashion of the day. What a preposterous thing to think. That's because you don't actually believe it, and you're a special little snowflake who wants to be a victim. Because in fact, your religion is centered around this victimology. Yeah. Like, oh my God, they suffered, Lady of Sorrows, and we were saved by your blood. What a weird idea. If you're not brainwashed into religion, it sounds insane. Oh, she suffered and her son was drenched in blood, and that was great for the rest of us that we were saved by it. What? Okay, and you wore an outfit I didn't like, so that affects my religion. All of it sounds cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but now I'm gonna shock the world. I do think that they do make one good point. And I know why, but she said, look, if they had the similar outfits about Islam or Judaism or anything else, it wouldn't fly. And that is true. If they went in like rabbinical outfits and dressed up as Orthodox Jews, people would be like, what on God's green earth are you doing, right? Now, the reason why they wouldn't is because Christianity is the dominant religion in America and they have power. Whereas the other religions don't, and they're minorities. So historically, they've been picked on. So you don't want to pick on them, and it's easier and makes more sense to, to focus on the dominant religion. But still, that is a fair point.
Well, I mean, I would disagree with that. I would say that was the charge that she was using, and I have so many instances of the ways that either white women have appropriated wearing the headscarf for whatever political reasons, but I would push back on that point a little bit.
I hear you, sister. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.